curators pick of the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Community, heart,
This is Like It Is Radio, Black Intelligent Talk Radio.
That's right, we're back. Nothing but the facts. You know how we do it. We've been doing things, so we weren't able to keep you connected, but nothing but the facts is back. Plain and simple, we got a lot to go over. We're going to get into some things tonight. As you know, I'm always glad to sit here with my fellow three musketeers, because, you know, there's no D'Artagnan here.
We all are D'Artagnan.
There you go. Well, you know, it was written by a black man. We'll talk about that another time. But anyway,
I
the
got
Three
to tell me about that
Musketeers.
one.
Montague. The Three Musketeers. My man Simo, Lordland Films. I know you've been checking it out.
Simo, that's right. I'm Simo.
Oh, man.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yo, Simo.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get
Because you thought that you was playing with me. You thought you was playing with me, but you could not play with me. Because I'm Simo, I'm putting you out on that track to bring the money to me.
Yeah. Hey.
All right.
Hey.
Don't smoke crack.
Hey.
We'll do it again. I was like, that shit. Oh man, all right. I know you wasn't gonna let it go either. This will be in the outtakes.
we honestly should just keep it rolling. No cuts.
I'm getting it. All right, and as you know, if that's Simo, then after Simo's got to be
Crazy
D.
D. Because you know he makes sure that
everything is
crisp, the images, everything.
I'm gonna need this
That's
lighting, get in that corner. All right, we got it. Let's
After
go.
Crazy D, you know it's just Franklin G sitting in the middle of the two musketeers.
Somebody
Who is he?
right. Franklin G.
Hey, no, you know who I am?
No, you know who you are?
Who I be?
You are Sherman Avery Ray.
No, but he's a worthy adversary. We'll be getting to him in a little while. I guess we're gonna keep this going. Why not? It's a goddamn podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the reality is this is my man from Lordland Films. You know, he puts it down all over the place. Crazy D just got finished celebrating his glory. Earth Day. Welcome to the consciousness and the planet. Crazy D makes it happen. Check us out, Lordland Films on Cox Cable and soon to be Bop. Notice I put that in there. Is it Bop or Bop?
Bop TV. Black on Purpose Television from out of Atlanta, Georgia. On the Roku box, make sure you go get your Roku TVs because we will be global come July. But that's not supposed to be out. But I guess we can say it because I was going to announce it. Yeah, we can say it.
We gotta put it
let me
out.
say this: a lot of things happened on my birthday. We're gonna get into that. But right now we're getting ready to swing over Earth Day, Born Day. But right now we're getting ready to swing over to the man that makes the sound happen in this.
My name is Simo.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to get to the street noise that we do every week. The cacophony. The man who makes sure that the sound is great. It is none other than Simo.
What's going on? What's going on? Yes, all the way from More of Everything Media, where no one's got us like us, man. A platform where the indie artists just come together and do it. How you guys feeling, man? And yeah, happy birthday to Crazy D. And,
Earth Day, man. Earth Day.
Earth Day. Earth birth.
His birthday. His mother is the one who gave birth on this day. That's her birthday. She gave birth.
That.
She did all the work.
True that.
They called it Earth Day. Well, no, this is the culture Earth Day because at the time that he happened to come to this level of consciousness and energy we call Earth, the universe was focused on him. And it transfers that energy with him as he came here because in order for him to come as he is, and like you and everybody else, that's the day that you came to this level of energy and consciousness on Earth. So it's your Earth Day. Your mother's the one who gives birth. And I would submit to you on your Earth Day, just like his Earth Day, he's in his glory phase. Because when you're born, the first 52 days of your life is the time you get the most amount of love that you're ever going to get.
Wow.
Because everybody touches you.
Wow.
You're like a sponge. Your grandma touch you, priest, pastor, rabbi, imam, somebody touch you.
The
little
priest?
Yeah, somebody touch you. Yeah, man. See, look at you.
Look
at you. Everybody, you got
we don't want too much. We don't want
your drunk cousin, you know, the old fool down the block.
Yep.
But you get all that energy and it compels you.
Uncle.
Yeah, you know, hey, let me see little Simo. Let me see little Crazy D.
touch you, hug
Did they call you Crazy D when you was a baby?
And that's what they said.
Yeah,
this is a crazy time.
But you get the most amount of energy, and that energy follows you every cycle that your Earth Day comes around, because it's like energy. It's like a comet. You know, it keeps coming around. It's reciprocal. So right after your Earth Day, you get 52 days of glory, symbolizing the first 52 days of your life that you got the most amount of love in your life. And conversely, the last 52 days right before your Earth Day is a challenging phase, because so many things could go wrong in the last 52 days of a life cycle, or the birth of a life cycle. So it's a challenge.
52 days.
Right before your birthday, it gets a little crazy. You know, shit be hectic. I gotta put it like that, you know. But if you can make it through, you know, it's always a little right before your birthday.
I got a 6-month-old niece, and yeah, when she was first born, everybody wanted to touch her and love her. So that's crazy.
And you get the energy. It's like a sponge. You're like a sponge. You know, you get a little. So
did you feel the energy on your birthday? I saw you go to the movies, man.
Earth Day.
Oh yeah, you know, the energy was there. You know, so many people said happy birthday to me. Boy,
that's good.
They're real friends.
They give you a discount going to the movies?
No, they didn't give me the thing. They didn't give me the AARP.
So man, get your card, man. Wednesday, brother. Y'all laughing Wednesday. You're $15 or something. Mine is $7.
No. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm looking forward to getting there.
Yep.
You know, but let me say, it was beautiful. Everything was aligned. They were playing Prince over the radio. It was great. We got to go see Deadpool 2. Great movie.
Oh damn! I want to see that movie.
Great movie.
Wait. He's a non-movie going dude, man.
And Panther.
You seen Panther?
Yeah, I seen Panther.
Right,
no, I love movies. I love movies, but I never get the chance to go on my own. I just saw Avengers: Infinity War, and I like to go to the theaters, but I don't get a lot of time to go to the theaters. I love movies, but I saw Infinity War, and I want to see Deadpool.
You know, every time you push something on Facebook about a movie, or you say something about film, or you say anything, next thing you know, those motherfuckers from Korea or wherever they from are trying to post those. Watch the movie for free. If I wanted Panther watched for free, I wouldn't have watched it for free. I would have went to the movie theater and watched it. So they need to stop that shit. And then as soon as I said I was at Deadpool, then next thing you know, they say, watch Deadpool. And you go over there and it's some kind of dummy Facebook page. I block them and I drop them, and Facebook should do something about that.
But what would you say to the individuals who don't have the access to movies that they're providing it to, not just in Korea, but in those small third world countries where they do still have internet access?
Stick, because
they don't have that in downtown Bolivia. They don't have that in Kingston, Jamaica. They don't have that in, you know, Joaquin, wherever, the Timbales, you know. So they provide a service.
Guess what though? They don't have to provide the service in the U.S. where it is here. If we want bootlegs, we go to our neighborhood bootlegger and get the film. Don't be taking money away from our neighborhood bootlegger, because the neighborhood bootlegger needs to eat too.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they may not
international shit that we could be sponsoring terrorism. Next thing you know, they bombing us over here in the hood, coming over the hood saying, get on your knees. You're going to be just like you were under non-melanated people. You're going to be under us 4'5" motherfuckers.
Man, I think these...
It's your Earth Day, man. Lighten up, man. Take that energy. Take that.
I was going to say, I think he's had it. He's had enough of it.
But yo,
every single time, and they do 3 or 4 in a row, and I got to go delete. Erase, delete, erase.
You know what another thing is too? It's the internet, man. It's set up, man.
It's entertainment.
It's set up like whatever you write gets filtered through. Hashtag it. You hashtag a lot, so hashtags get filtered. These bots are on it, and then they're getting on you.
But not even that. What about, like, check this out? My man Childish Gambino.
Did
his video, right? This is America, right? Right? Seen it? It's kind of cool. We're talking into that. Some
okay,
stuff
slipping now.
But check it out. White chick came and did the same thing right behind her. She ain't Korean. So when you saw her, that's not her copyright infringement. That's her expression of her what she would perceive creativity based on what he did.
I didn't even see it.
She's from Canada.
I wasn't interested.
Oh, you hit the delete. You seen it?
Yeah, I seen it. She's from Canada.
Oh, she's from Canada?
She's from Canada, and yeah, it was. People got on her because it was trash. Not that a white girl redid it. It was just trash.
It was, but it was still interesting.
It was for the girls, and which was cool.
Right.
But then it was just trash. It was trash. She like.
She was mocking it more than comprehensively imitating it, I thought.
Yeah, no flow, no
But
flavor.
check it out.
No
Let's talk about him. Let's talk about. Forget about her. Let's talk about Childish Gambino and the whole concept of making that happen. I'm sure you saw that, right, Craig?
No, of course.
All right. So what do you think? What do you think? Shot well, look good, imaging.
Shot well, beautiful
yeah,
imagery, everything.
Oh,
let y'all talk about it first, and then I'll come.
You know what's funny? I just want to say real quick. I showed Brother Paul the the first scene of that video. I was like, you ever seen the Childish Gambino video? He's like, no. He said, oh, okay, what's going on? It's cool. It's pretty funky. You know, he started dancing, come through, dance, turn around, and then as soon as he, and we gotta talk about that little feminine bend over he did.
Was it a feminine bend over?
As soon as he did the bend over and pulled that trigger, Brother Paul was like, oh no.
He did he categorize it as feminine?
And no, I did.
Did? Why did you? I'm just curious.
But anyway, it's cool, you know.
No, I'm just curious. Why did you categorize that bend that he did as feminine? I'm just curious.
Because it looked feminine. He was arching at the back and everything. I don't know why he did that. His dance was cool, but when he arched at the back, that was it. But I just want to say real quick, that was like crazy how the perspective of some people seeing just I think Brother Paul tripped out because it was a black man killing another black man. And everyone has everything to say about it. But I saw it as a film because it was shot that well. Brother Paul saw it as a black guy killing a black guy. So yeah, there's a lot of perspectives going around about this thing. Everyone has their own theories. But what's one of your guys' theories?
Well, I think the posture they were trying to indicate is that of a back character from back in the day where he was kind of step and fetch it, if you will. So the thought of those signs, of Jim Crow and things of that nature. So
like the no shirt, the gray pants,
right?
All of that, like a slave,
right? Slave that. But I thought it was an interesting concept. Some things, death riding in the background on a horse. You put that in. There's always death. Death is part of. It's not even a black thing. Is it more prevalent in the black community? Are we more in tune to it than white people? Death is always there. Are we more understanding of what happens in the black community? Like how he put the symbol of the church people getting blasted, and even how he takes each of the weapons that he uses, the gun. He places the gun in another brother's hand, and that brother wraps it in a red cloth. So there's a symbolism behind that. But I mean, even in that, it's an expression of art in terms of even the dance. Some people thought it was dance. I thought his dance was more for Fela Kuti, a great African original superstar, if you will. That was the original Fela Kuti move, having seen him, Fela. So I appreciate that. And, the running in the end, I didn't dig that. I mean, why were you running from them folks? He was, trying to confront racism and it was driving him crazy. So
yeah,
he was running from it. Do you run from racism? Do you run from the oppressor?
Because he was the one
witnessing it all.
Crazy D.
And that's the thing. He was witnessing all of the damage, and that's the ticket.
Basically causing the damage too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Right. There you go. Boom, causing the damage. Self-hate.
The question I have is, can a black man, a person embodied in a black body, express the ills that are happening in the society?
Of course.
Can he or can he?
Of course.
Because that's what the argument has been about how Brother Paul saw him as a black man killing another black man instead of him representing the ills of society. When he shot up the choir, when the image of him shooting up the choir, a lot of people criticized that and said he should have had a white person actually do that instead of him. It used to be a time when they would say that when you watch commercials on TV that white folks represented everybody, meaning that when you watch something, you saw a commercial about Geritol.
Yeah, you talking about even the 50s and 40s, 60s.
Because we fought against it. This is my point. But they said that white people represented everybody. So when black people didn't see themselves on TV, they would still go buy the Geritol because they had the aches and pains, and white people represented him. Have we come this far in the society today where a black man can represent the ills put upon us by white people, that when they see him shoot, they think, oh, that was a white person that did that? Just in the converse, just like they said, white people represented everybody in commercials and film and that, and we fought against that. So can he, as a person that's embodied in a black body, a soul that's embodying a black body, can he represent, and people look at it and say, oh, it's not a black man shooting, he's representing what those white people
your question,
did.
but
That's what I'm just asking. Can he? Are we in that point in society?
I think that he didn't. Somebody asked him this. Why didn't he put a white person in there doing the shootings in the video? He was not trying to answer any of his own theories. Like,
we make those theories.
That was too easy. Yeah,
the guy puts out there, and then
we
break it down. Same thing happened with what was that? The black movie that came out right before that, where the guy was uptown. Get Out. All the symbolic means. We did it with Black Panther. That's what we do. These guys are just artists. They make their art. There's no explanation for it. The creative symbolism that they interpret because of the genius level that they possess, even Prince or Michael Jackson or Michael Jordan, they're geniuses, and that's what their representation when they when it comes out, that's what it is, and that's I appreciate his work, and that's the bottom line of that. It doesn't for me answer any questions or take away from any questions because we got larger issues going on. We're running from a lot of stuff just like he did. He can't put a white guy in the video because he was the star in the video. The thing that I appreciate is that his conceptualization of addressing a few things for what he thinks would be intergenerational. We're talking about it. And it got 1 million hits on this and everybody likes it. He's gotten awards for his work. But when a black man speaks out against a black man or is seen as you wanted to see, we had great writers doing that all through our sojourn. You had, Paul Lawrence Dunbar. You had all these guys writing about the black circumstances of a black person. And as we talked about it over dinner before, most people haven't read Uncle Tom's Cabin. They still think Uncle Tom is the villain in the book.
It's the villain.
The villain in the book.
Saving.
Right. And this is what I'm saying. So the things that we could read that we can make parallels that work with us, we don't. But wasn't that not an outcry? Because there was a guy, Uncle Tom, who was helping black people who was black and suffered for it. Is that what this guy's trying to say? We suffered? We kill our own? Is that what this guy's saying at the end when he's running away and stuff like that and then doing all those violent contorted movements? Is that what oppression does to us?
So what I saw in it was people all of a sudden wanted to put all their hopes and dreams into an entertainer, an artist who is only expressing his art. Mm-hmm. He has no answer for it because I remember.
Should he have?
What I'm saying, I remember hearing an interview from an artist, and they say people come up to me and they say, "Oh, I really got that cosmic going over to the third dimension." He was like, "Oh, okay,
right,
thank you, but I was just expressing my art." So it's just the same thing. We it seems that society, people always putting their faith in artistry and not looking at it and just say, okay, this is just entertainment. It's just like, black folks, you have to be an actual gangster, it seems, to be talking about something that Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone makes movies, and no one goes out there with guns and want to shoot either one of them down saying, oh, you must be Rambo, oh, you must be Terminator. So we have to come to a point where we can say that's just entertainment. He's just an entertainer. He's going across, because as soon as Kanye dropped off, here came Gambino, and people put their same faith in him like they did with College Dropout with Kanye.
I have no faith in that. That's your generation. That's come on.
No. I'm talking about.
You always slipping to the tether, man. The tether's gone, man. Let the tether go.
Hey, look.
Let the tether go.
You had faith in Ozzie Davis and Ruby Dee in your generation, didn't you?
They did work. You ever see Pearly Victorious? Great play. You ever seen Ozzie Davis deliver that eulogy for Malcolm X? You ever seen Ozzie Davis playing those? But neither here nor there. They were all entertainers and they were all expressing themselves creative. But it's funny that you missed Stallone. Let's talk about his little 5'4" beating them. I went and saw that movie when I was young. And man, I have to fault myself. Because I actually was like, when Apollo was beating on him, I used to everybody got that Rocky feeling, being the underdog. Man, I pulled for Rocky.
You did?
I did. I can't lie. I played that shit.
I said, why won't Apollo Creed look at Rocky hitting the beef on TV, through the TV, in the icebox? Like, why won't you look at that and guard yourself? Because that's all he did was rip him to the body.
That's okay. It was 3 movies, man. I put them on TV. But as we talk about Stallone, we touch on them lightly because there's just segues. We don't rehearse this shit. We just do this shit. We coming for you. Podcast.
Pardon me.
Pardon moi.
Pardon me.
Go ahead.
There was a pardon.
Pardon him what? What's that?
There was a pardon. Pardon me. Said what?
There
was a pardon.
See that? Crack.
Pardon
Don't
me.
smoke crack. Pardonnez-moi is French for pardon me, please. There was a pardon that was issued by 45. Right?
Wow.
45.
See, we was working that. Say it again. Pardonnez-moi.
Pardon.
Pardonnez-moi.
Pardon oui.
Who's on first?
Who's on third?
All right, pardonnez-moi. 45 set it free. Jack Johnson said that he would expunge his records and make the overturning of his.
He didn't say will. He signed it.
He signed.
He
did
did
it.
it.
All right, so Trump, we got to give you your Trumpy. We should have put the Trump poster out today. Next time, we'll bring him out. Ask him directly. Even though he's fighting with Kim Jong-un, which is on. I knew that was some bull. Anyway, he has said that Jack Johnson, who was arrested and incarcerated 1 year of his professional career life for the transporting of white women.
The Mann Act.
Transporting of white women.
Across the state lines.
But that's really
for
wasn't
ill purposes,
But-
meaning penis sharing.
Well, yeah, they got him on that, but that's not what he was doing. He was just partying with those women.
Well,
He wasn't in the business of procuring women for to pimp them out.
I don't think he pimped them out. He used them himself. So
That's
he
what
was
I'm
a,
saying.
he was a
So-
strong man.
That's why they say it was unjust.
That he was sentenced and convicted for just going and doing what people do in the mall every day. It's Memorial Day weekend. They can freak nicking it out right now. 2018. There's a lot of brothers running around with that snow. They've been caught up.
Because the snow is so easy, isn't it?
Not always, man. People.
Yeah, the snow has got to be the easiest on the planet.
I don't know about that, but
I never indulged. But
Yeah,
I
that's the
know that
disclaimer.
the snow. That's the truth.
Come on now, you got a shovel, brother.
I didn't snow. I used the snow plow. Get out my way. There's piles of snow up. Let other people let hammer. Never mind.
All right. Well, 45, pardon Jack Johnson. So we got to give you, I guess, a thumbs up. Right on, brother. Give him the left hand. Right on, brother.
Right or left?
Left hand for the white dude. Right on, brother. You freed Jack Johnson's record, even though he's never been incarcerated. Something Obama didn't do.
How come Obama didn't do it?
I don't know. I wish I could. My man, I would tell you, should have fought for that one. You know, but he did release more, exonerate more, and let people out of jail than any other president under those kind of laws that he could change in terms of the possessions and different non-violent.
He was letting
Non-violent.
He was under meritorious.
Oh, here we go. He going back 15 centuries.
Right? He was under. Was he or was he not?
No. The exoneration of somebody's crime being actually much expunged, but under committed law at that time that had changed in those
He was
states.
under mandatory. He was under meritorious manumission. Right? That's what
A freeing of
Obama.
Negroes.
That's what
The freeing
Obama
of
was
Negroes.
under. Right?
I don't know. The
Right?
people who
because
got their
he did
release.
not only free black people, he had to free
People.
everyone.
So why not? Moses freed everyone.
He had to, no, Moses only freed the Hebrews.
That's everyone, man.
That wasn't everyone. That was the Hebrews. He didn't say, "Come on, Egyptians, go with
Well,
us."
the
Come
Egyptians
on,
were the oppressors at that time,
come on,
theoretically, but we know that was all just
come on,
nonsense.
Canaanites, Canaanites.
Same thing.
Come with us on this journey. No, he freed one group of people.
You free who you could work with.
He freed.
Mandela
He
freed
wasn't
folks,
working with them
Dr.
because
King
they
freed
stayed.
some. It's all psychological, man.
No, it's not.
Yes,
it's meritorious manumission. However, here's a question about the snow.
Uh-oh.
And I feel this because something happened. Okay, Simo,
Uh-oh.
you're dating some snow, right? Let's just say you're dating some snow.
That's what you guys call white girls?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what. Hey, I'm just rolling with.
Snowflakes.
You're dating some snow.
Snow bunny. It's
Right.
Snow bunny.
We talked about this about a few podcasts ago, but this is in a different frame. But we talked about
Tell me.
snow.
Mhm.
Okay, so you're dating some snow, and you're in a sex act, and then when it's ready to be over, she calls you nigger. Would you accept that, or wouldn't you in the middle of the sex act? You're there, you're getting ready to finish up. You say, "Give me that nigger." Give me that nigger. Would you
Finish it. What you
accept
gonna
that,
finish?
or would
That
you?
nigga what?
Give me that nigger. You get the rest. And we'll only go so
Pause.
vulgar.
Pause.
But
Yeah.
pause.
But,
But she says and all of a sudden it just comes out of her mouth. Give me that nigger. And then what would you do?
I think honestly,
Would you stop
No,
there?
you know what? You know, real talk. I dated a white girl for a very long time, but she never called me no nigga. But I dated a white girl for a very, very long time. I think it's an even trade if I date another white girl, and I'm busting on her face as she's saying it, disrespecting her while she's disrespecting me.
No. What is she saying? Give me that.
Like it.
What is she saying? Give me that nigger. Come. Give me that nigger. Come. And then what you just when she was doing it, just when she was slobbing it off, and she said, "Give me that nigger. Come." And then I'm getting to the story, but I need to know. I just need to know.
Put that explicit on the YouTube channel.
That's what I'm saying. We are in the 21st century, and people are still shy about talking about sex and interracial relationships or sex and black relationships. I mean, what's going on? This is 21st century.
I think it's funny the terms we're using, but go ahead.
So if she said, "Give me that nigger," and then would you hold it or would you just still buzz? What would you do? What would you do?
I mean, in the act of doing this shit, I'd be like, what the fuck you saying? And still be like, oh, in her eye. So that time, she
would
knows
you
it's
enjoy
disrespect.
it?
I'll disrespect hers while she disrespects me.
Would you?
Who knows?
She wanted it. So would you would you have enjoyed it less, or would you have enjoyed it more?
I'd ask her about it. Be like, what the fuck was that afterwards? Yeah, of course. I have to ask her about it. Like in the act, I'm a man. In the act, I'm gonna finish. But it's hard, you know. Never been in that situation.
Okay, because there's a porno company called Dirty Dog.
Okay, this is for the kids now. It's after 10. Please send your kids to bed.
Yeah.
Podcast is going to the right, to the left.
Stop your ads right here.
Listen. This is very important. This is very important. This is why I asked that question.
This will be
Franklin. What would you do if before I get to the story?
No, we can't repeat that question.
No. What would we do if you were there?
No.
And you were dating or not dating? This is just.
And I will tell you, I can stop you right there. You don't have to say it again because this is what happens. The reality is, as a man, and you may say this, yo, I'm tearing this shit up, B, or give me that B. You know, you it's verbal play. If you're playing verbal play, that's okay.
Okay, so
if that's what they want.
Play.
If that's what the level that they had conceptual relations at.
Okay, but it came from
How
out
do
the
you
clear
know?
blue.
How do you know?
I'm asking you. It came from out the clear blue. I'm asking you if it came from out the clear blue.
The reality is, I don't live in those circumstances, so I'm gonna tell you.
So you're gonna defer?
No, I'm gonna actually just say that. We do the same thing as men. You say, "Give me that beat." That's right. Bend over. Yeah. So that's derogatory, not racistly, but it's derogatory femininely. And you like, I'm telling whose is this and all that other kind of phraseologies that you know exist.
That's harmless.
So that is still objectifying your love interest.
Nigger.
No, it's still the same thing. Objectification is objectification.
It's a porno company called Dirty Dog, and it came across the timeline. So I had to read it. It was on Facebook, so I had to watch it. It was on Facebook, and it was an article. So then I clicked it and I read it. So this is what it was. It's a porno company. And it was a black actor, and it was a white. So the director came up
and he was suing the guy. I read that he was suing the guy.
Can I finish the story?
That was the story. That guy doing it to get another job, man. It's a porno star.
No. Listen. So he comes up, and the director asked him twice with the woman standing there, "Can she say nigger to you?"
And he said no.
First of all, I would have said, "Why am I at this company? I know that they're Dirty Dog, and they're used to doing racial type films.
So
right? So why would I be there anyway? Degrading
there
myself.
You go.
But anyway, so as they get through it and it's getting there, she said, "Give me that nigger, come." And then
he didn't stop.
He was like, "Yeah, I know he couldn't. He was there. It was a full ejaculation."
Can't stop.
If he didn't stop, then I'm Houdini on that one.
That's my point. But he said, "Can you edit that out?" And then next thing you know, he found it was on the website. Now he wants to sue. First of all, I wouldn't have been in that predicament if she had said nigger. The cum shot wouldn't have happened. That shit would have been. It would have hit the floor, or would have been in my hand, and I would have went to the restroom, and they wouldn't have got the finished shot because I had told you twice already. So that's why I asked that question about that, because these are the things that we're dealing with because we have not fully addressed race in this country.
No, he's a porn star. I'm not gonna put race on him. Go ahead and make your sex film. Shut the fuck up.
You know what?
I ain't got no. In as much as, don't get me wrong, let's go get into our next subject. He's in film and television. You know that. He has no rights. Once he signed the paper and took the paycheck, they can do whatever they want with his image forever. So he signed that away.
Film.
Right,
But
he
also
signed
too,
that away.
You know why I might think that happened? Because that's a fetish. People got fetishes.
Right.
And there's like compilation videos.
I mean, you've been to
of
the
like
mall.
white
You
girls
seen,
saying,
you seen some of
give
these
that
white girls
nigga
with the
D.
brother. You know that. You know what that is.
I just said that some of the. I just admitted
Fetish.
they're some of the easiest on the planet.
I ain't
I've
say
had
easy.
to
That's your word.
Back them
Yeah.
away as
don't do
many
that.
times. I was like Arthur Ashe, batting,
I'm
volleying
not like
away.
about Crazy D,
That's
man.
right.
He'll tell him how it is. You don't like no
playing
white
volley.
girls, no little
Yeah,
white
yeah.
girls.
But here we
You
go.
don't
Talking film. We got to go to today's biggest story.
Yeah.
They got Cosby. We talked about Cosby when they got his punk ass.
Yeah, he's ready
Bill
to go.
Cosby. We pulled out the Cosby doll. I still got it. Here we go now. We got another one. The Fat Man. Harvey Weinstein got to do the perp walk today in New York. You know they was gonna get his ass in New York. They don't play in New York. But they
He
said
should have been in L.A.
Sure. But then it made no difference. They would get him too. But they had 95 women, actresses, who said that Harvey put the penis on them in order to get work.
Thanks.
Okay, let's discuss this for a minute.
Just for a minute.
Let's
'cause,
pull
you know,
back
this
the
ain't
layers.
melanated, but he did get some black girls in there.
Let's pull back the layers a little bit.
All right.
Are these 95 women who did not get the quid pro quo?
What should you have to play with the 3-piece band to get the acting job? And some of them
lawyer-
said that they forced them. The two that I believe that there was not so much pills, but a certain coercion. If you do this, I can do that. If you don't do this, you won't get that. So that's quid pro quo, and that's against the law.
Some girls
There's
want to do
legal
that.
quid pro quo, and then there's illegal quid pro.
It's all illegal, brother.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Because politics is quid pro quo.
Well, there
If
you go.
you vote
wait,
for
wait.
someone,
I don't accept
they're
their money.
supposed to
That's the
do
next
their
subject.
agenda. So you're supposed
They
to
say-
do your agenda.
no.
If you get your votes, those people are supposed to work for you. That's what quid. So there's legal quid pro quo, and most of the time, quid pro quo is used as far as the legal side of it.
I beg to
Right?
differ. I
Right?
beg to differ.
So they know that the casting couch is there.
his term, not fair, not legal, and that's what his
But
defense is going to try to
they've always
Play.
known that it's there.
be. No.
Let's play the white devil's advocate, right? Some girls, they want to exchange for that shit. And then when it doesn't go their way, or if it doesn't even happen, I'm not saying all these didn't happen, I'm sure they did. They get bitter and they lie. There's a community of women in that Me Too that lie because they're mad and bitter. They lie and it's a shame.
They didn't
and
lie.
they get guys put in jail because they're lying.
I don't know if they're
Who's
lying.
that white girl that lied on a black guy like years ago, and she just came forward and said I lied about him raping me, and he died. He got beaten to death. The white
Emmett
girl,
Till.
the white girl that lied on the black dude, he got beaten to death, and
That was Emmett Till. That was a woman whistling at her.
exactly. She said the black man was whistling. He got beat to death.
Right, that's
and years
Emmett
later,
Till. He was
she
a young
said-
man.
She lied.
He was a
Right.
14-year-old,
Right.
and she was a grown
She was
woman.
lying because.
But we know
because
cases like that. But
he
that's
probably
why.
rejected her. He probably
no,
rejected
he
her.
wasn't. That wasn't it. He just was a young man who went from Chicago, where he was living. With Lenny Williams downstairs. Turn that down. He just went down south, and he unfortunately may have had an instance with a white woman that she felt disrespected, and it led her to tell
He
her
never
husband.
whistled.
She lied.
He never. He just.
Point blank.
But we're
She
getting
didn't
off
wanna-
the topic. What about
She
her?
didn't
but
want to.
yeah.
She didn't want to be in the store because she thought that she was going to be a model, and her husband. She married him. Probably she was a young bride herself, marrying this dude. He had her up in the store. She didn't want to be there. She found this as an opportunity to try to get out the store. Instead, it put her in an enslavement herself. Store shuts down. They become nothing but regular backwoods.
What they were in the video?
Intersexual relations with cousins.
Oh man, you off now. Here we go
Mississippians.
again.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
And why
where'd that go?
any black man would ever touch the snow
Oh man,
after
come on,
all
come
the
on.
snow is
So-
done?
so-
I never know. But anyway,
The
so back to
captain.
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, where it came from.
Harvey Weinstein for a minute. How do you know if it's Stein or Steen when it's spelled the same? Harvey Weinstein,
Who
like in
cares?
the
Everybody's
Howard
saying
Stern. Even
Harvey
Stern
Weinstein.
is different. It's Steen though, right? Howard
cares?
Stern, Harvey Weinstein, Stein. it's all spelled the same? How do you know which one it is? How did they come up with the linguistic pronunciations of these different names? Is it the first few syllables that's in front of it before you get to the telling if it's Stein or Stern?
We're off.
I mean, I'm just asking.
We're going this
How
way.
come,
like Wolfenstein.
Okay, here we go. How come they, go ahead. How come they have him walking the perp walk with locked behind his back like a Negro coming from out of a trap house? Let me finish.
Oh boy.
And it just so
all over the
happens.
place.
It just so happens that he was working with Jay-Z to push these political stories, and all of a sudden he gets knocked up, and they had to sell the company off. This is unusual. The brother couldn't continue. The brother did nothing wrong. They had to sell the company off. They had to do all this. They got him in the perp walk with the hands behind the back, not up front with the jacket. You know what I mean? They used to say, "Would you like to go to Burger King before we take you to the jail?"
Really?
With the cups up front. I mean, like, really? I'm just asking these questions. Like, soon as he was starting to break code and starting to tell the stories that would help black people, all of a sudden he gets taken down. I'm just trying to wonder. I think he broke the
Dr.
code.
J told us the movies are not here to help us. Movie industry is not here to help us. So he didn't make no movies to help us. Black Panther didn't help nobody.
The Broder story didn't help.
No movies.
Browder story.
No
didn't
Browder
help
story. Nothing. Those.
It didn't start them looking at the slave halls of Rikers Island. It didn't.
No.
It didn't. It didn't start the media up going.
No.
It didn't.
Rikers
I thought
Island.
it did.
No, you're wrong.
I thought they started researching the history and found out they were slave owners, and that was a way to keep the slave.
Rikers Island?
The people behind it were slave owners. That was a way for them to keep their business going. So
Rikers Island's a prison, man.
But at one time
Right now.
were slave.
No.
Yes, they. I mean, that's what the history says.
Not a fact.
Okay,
not a
fact. Okay, not a fact.
No,
That's
I'll
just
tell you,
what,
Rikers Island. Rikers Island is in the middle of New York City in the river. It has always been. If you wanted to say,
owned it?
Well, if you, I'm trying to give you this. If you want to say it is where African Americans resided, it was not a prison. Like Brooklyn, the same thing. Wheatsfield and those counties in the outer boroughs, African Americans may have resided there. It being owned because Negroes couldn't own land, that was all of the United States. But it always being intended for a Negro prison is not totally factual.
Who were the Rikers?
Rikers,
who were the Rikers? That is named after the family.
It's not even called Rikers Island anymore. It's not called Rikers Island anymore. It's called Randall's Island, and it's also called Icon Stadium. So don't get me wrong, history changes itself. The original landowners, because all original landowners in this country at that time were white men.
But they purposely used. I'm just going by what the documentary said.
Documentary's not right.
When I fall back on it, all I can say is this is what the documentary said. When they go in the Browder story, they went and told the history of Rikers Island, and within that story, so what you're saying is Harvey Weinstein, Jay-Z, and all them then decided to tell a lie within the documentary.
I don't believe that any of the names that you just mentioned had any affiliation with this documentary.
The Browder story documentary, Jay-Z didn't have anything to do with it.
Hey, I'm not saying that he didn't participate in giving some money to it, but that story, as far as I'm concerned, is unfactual and unbased. Anybody can make a documentary, say anything. The Klan makes documentaries. We just saw the Malcolm X documentary. Anybody can make a documentary. You know that. You make documentaries. I can say anything I want in there, and I'm believing to you. I'm giving you the story of that I know being a New Yorker.
All you have to do is Google.
Well, Google it.
Rikers.
Ooh, Google it. Then we should Google it. That would be our next show.
Rikers.
But we were talking about Harvey. While he may have produced those movies as Dr. Leonard Jeffries has told us, is not here for us. They're not here for us.
No, that's not. No, Leonard Jeffries also put a caveat in there that said that once the the movie Panther came out, that it isn't, but you use what was once against you to push your signal through, and that's why he gave praise to Panther. So it doesn't just stop right there.
I would say he gave praise.
Yes, he
gave
did.
Notice.
Yes, he said.
For the first time,
Africa is rising because of it, and people's consciousness of looking at it, getting the African guard researching that.
I'll give you that.
That's what he said. He said it on the radio.
Right. But check this out. What's the #1 movie right now? Avengers. And what happens is the larger issue is, since they set the bar so high for other black movies that are coming out, we got Uncle Buck, we got Superfly back. Come on. They're helping. And because of the success of this so-called black movie, none of those movies will be successful.
That's not so.
Yes, because
Superfly is going to be very successful.
Well, it's going to have to meet the mark of meeting $700 billion.
Not at all. Not at all.
Because
money-wise,
and that's what's going to. That's the determining factor. That is the determining factor. You know that the first weekend, black people are going to go see it. That's true. White people are not. And we'll know in a few weeks when it does come out, because the same thing is going to happen with this Uncle Buck character, and then right behind Superfly, they got Shaft. What I'm saying is the bar is being set so high due to the Black Panthers, which I told y'all is going to be a white guy soon. The Black Panther's success, it even set the bar so high for other white movies, because now the Avengers has got to pass that, and then beyond that, beyond that, the Ant-Man's got to pass that.
Yeah,
they're not going to pass it, so everything is going to flop.
So that's based on this new predicate. That's right.
So they're going to tell Marvel, you better put out a Panther movie once a year to get those large numbers.
He signed a 5-picture deal, but don't get me wrong. Then we go back to Rocky. I don't want to see this guy 5 times. When are they going to be 700-year-old Black Panther, the baby Black man? Enough of that. All this nonsense with the movies. Movies are strictly entertainment, much like we start talking about Childish Gambino. Strictly entertainment. You can put any messages you want in there. Kemet, Nazi, sexism, racism. The fact that they have these creative spirits, that's what we need to celebrate. The continuing of creativity.
We're celebrating creative spirits, but we're trying to get our message across. Anytime that you have a group of people who have savagely raped the population of Earth, stolen land, just totally destroyed land, destroyed the atmosphere, and then you have images saying, you're white as God, white is right, white is angelic, white is always no. This is what I'm saying. That's what this whole thing. There's a song. Perfect example.
He saw that.
White supremacy. Perfect example. It's a song. It's a catchy tune. It used to be on the R Gang things. It says, "The object of my affection will turn my complexion from white to rosy red." Catchy tune. Who is that only going to? Black folks can't, for the majority of black folks can't sit there and use it, so I changed it over. I said, the object of my affection will turn my complexion from brown to beautiful black. I would change the lyric.
Nice.
You see what I'm saying? So what we're looking at and what we're talking about is, okay, film was never for us, but we have to start pumping the messages through film that say, we built this, we did that.
Man.
We were queens We were queens before Merkel became queen.
Go. So is Merkel wrong? Is Merkel wrong?
No, I didn't know. I know. Wait, hold it. Hold it. I didn't. Wait a minute. Hold it. Because you know there's a lot of ghetto gagging on the internet too.
What?
But anyway, so we will leave that alone. But we will say that for people who understand what I just said.
Nobody understands.
You understand? Yeah, you understand ghetto gagging. They understand what it's about. Ku Klux Klan shirts and. But anyway. Long story, chick in the middle, ghetto gagging. But, you know, black chick in the middle, ghetto gagging. They'll understand that without going any further reference. So that's what it is. But no, what I'm saying is a lot of people didn't know that there were black queens in England. There were black. There were more. Because a lot.
And that's the royal family.
Passing.
No.
They had to paint themselves white, and you'll see. If you see the old paintings, see,
For
that's
real?
what I'm saying. Wait. Yes. See.
Come on, man.
You have to watch
fill this guy's mind with that, man.
You watch Hidden Colors Volume 2.
I seen them all,
He talks
man.
about. He talks about it.
Again, a documentary. And Tyreek,
the research
there was
is done.
one in the 18th century.
No, more. Whenever you
that.
see the old paintings where you see a black child and you see the woman, and most people thought, but the black child's not dressed in rags, they're dressed rurally. Most people think
England or in Spain.
You know, England, Spain, Europe, it's all the same.
Nah.
It's all in Europe.
We're only talking about the royal family in England.
Okay.
Let's just make that succinct. And there's only one that married in.
Okay.
And in the 18th century, you can at least find a picture. I forgot her name.
Sophia.
So there was that one, and that's the only one. They're the ones who have their own genealogy, and they keep it succinctly who is who and what is what. So the reality, and back to the original question, should she not, and even the one in the 18th century, should she not have married a man who set peril upon people of color? A descendant of the royalty that was slavery in America, the British Tea Company and all that, what they did in China. Should she not? Now that's a direct descendant of those imperialist oppressors through blood. Should she
There was
not?
also a black king.
In Africa?
No,
Where?
in England.
Oh, I ain't seen that, man. You
Yes, it
watching a
was.
lot of TMZ.
No, I'm TMZ would definitely not cover
Was
that
it
with
Kanye
horror.
Tither? King
That is
Tither?
not. That is not about. They're definitely not about that.
But the
Believe me.
reality is, the
But-
kings that we know and people of color who had that title probably came from the continent, or even, if you will, places like Morocco, or that they did have intermixtures, other stuff. But kings and royalty are melanated. You know, come on, man. You maybe Samoa kings, but not in the royal family, King George, Buckingham Palace type bullshit.
Okay. We'll leave it like that, but people will put their comments underneath and put the links and
Yeah,
then
holla
we'll
at
just
me.
go ahead and
Holla
watch that.
at me.
Yeah, I'll leave that alone. You know,
Because I ain't
we're
mad
not
at
gonna
Megan.
debate that.
I ain't
I'm
mad
not-
at Megan.
I'm not mad at her either.
So she should have, but you know what I'm mad at?
What?
Sisters that live that I'm gonna be married to a king type, watching the coverage and the dress and all that. Now that to me that was a little overboard, because yes, you said she did marry or married into the family of oppressors, but the coverage that was given to it didn't mean anything to me in my community, in my mind.
It didn't?
No, I don't care. Did that make anything better for black people or people in general?
What's her name?
Meghan Markle?
No, Reed, Joanne Reed.
Joy
Reed, Joanne.
Right.
It used to be Joanne,
Well,
but now it's Joy Reed.
I ain't
But it used
mad.
to be Joanne Reed before she dropped the ANN.
well, his name used to be Antoine
but-
until now it's just Twan.
Yeah, no, that's just for in the hood. But look, Joanne Reed was like, "Oh, this was the greatest thing since
She's entitled.
cooked grits." I mean, which that's fine. I mean, but you're saying you were upset about that, but
I'm
either
saying
it's
for
fine
them
or it's
buying
not.
it. No. I'm saying for them to buy into it, I think is wrong. But at the same time, you can't control the way people think or what they buy into, especially women keeping the idyllic Romans, that whole thing. But at the same time, it's nothing off my back. I don't care nothing about it. It doesn't make anything any better. It changes images maybe, but she'll never be in line to get the throne. He'll never be in line to get the throne. No, it's Harry. It's the other guy, and then his kids.
Well, something he could.
And the fact that I even know that, you know what I mean? I'm bombarded with what do they call it?
How did the
Angle
queen?
fights.
How did the queen become queen? The queen that's there now, that's been there for some 80 years.
She was born into it. She her birthright. Her rights died
She was
out.
born into it, but her father was the second born. There was a son before him. He advocated and said that he didn't want to
Makes sense.
take this throne,
Right.
and he wanted to live a regular life. So thus, that's how her father became king, the stuttering king, and then thus she became the queen.
Yeah, man.
So what I'm saying
trying to
is,
stop you
maybe the older son,
Stop you now.
maybe the older son may say he doesn't want. He wants to live a regular life, and she may see herself
No.
as
She's
queen
like 5th or 6th
and king.
in line. No, they ain't gonna let that happen. But the reality is here, I want your black card back. Because you know a lot about them Anglicans, man. You know a lot about the king and royalty. You've been watching TMZ and National Geographic. And
a
History
great,
Channel.
no. See, a great black historian once told me that to know, you have to know their history as well as your own to be able to come to the definitive truth of what's going on. So I will go back.
That's
I will
true.
tell you that I know.
You and Jesse Jackson on
Yeah, I would tell
Jesse
you.
Quote, yeah.
I will tell you that I know back to Betsy Smith Race Records, first million seller, and I'll tell you I'll go back to the object of my affection.
Oh, here we go. We gotta stop him now.
Right? So I'll tell you I do all that. I tell you about the Patroller. I tell you about the history because
man.
I was a music man, so I would be able to
You're
tell
still
you
a
that.
music man.
And so
Yeah,
thus the
still.
history, I have to know
All
the
kinds of
history
games.
But
to
you threw that
understand.
Victrola
All
in there.
kinds.
Y'all don't know what Victrola is. Y'all gotta wind it up. In any event,
And it played at 78.
was it 78?
Yes, it was.
I seen that.
Mhm.
But this is America. They had seen it. They had Victrolas all around. But here we go. Check this out. As we talk about old stuff, and we was talking about Harvey. We got to keep it real here. What happened to Morgan, man? Morgan got pinched by the poo-poo nanny? How many women? Morgan? You mean God wanted some poo-poo?
This is the first time I heard this. How many women?
Like 60 women?
He apologized.
Oh, God.
He apologized.
He apologized. He said, because I get, you should
Morgan?
get Hollywood Reporter, get that in your feed.
Morgan?
And then
Hollywood
he
Reporter.
said,
I guess he was blowing on more than a fire.
THR. He gives you the information. I said, not Morgan Freeman.
Tip your hat, Morgan.
Come on,
man.
Not God. Not
Yeah,
God.
I know how the voice of God.
No, he played God too.
Of
in
Bruce
films.
Almighty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Morgan.
I'm just saying, he was
Hey, how come
also
we
our
never
first
talked
black.
about
He was
that?
also our first black president.
Yeah, how come we never talked about that, man? We talk about this first black superhero, which is not. And then Morgan Freeman was God and Bruce Almighty.
That was-
But no. At
But
the
that should be a
time,
big thing, yeah.
I talked about it. I said,
With
look,
Jim Carrey was Jesus.
Come on.
and his
But,
mother, wasn't
yeah,
his
it was
mother
good.
Patti LaBelle?
Huh?
His mother. So they were telling the truth about how bleaching happens. It
Talking
was
about Sammy
great.
Sosa. Talking about Sammy Sosa now. But hey, here's a trivia question. Who's the first black man to scream in space?
Scream?
Who's the first black man?
Yeah, the
to
black
scream?
dude that would die on all the space movies. I don't know. Black dude that died on he died on all the space movies. The niggas die first in space. That's all I'm saying.
Black people. But anyway, y'all, the first black man to scream in space was Yaphet Kotto in Aliens.
The first one is
There you go.
Space, Yaphet Kotto.
Yaphet Kotto, remember at the end of the Aliens?
Yeah,
the judge said it right.
yeah.
He's the first black man to scream in space. I give you that.
Underrated actor.
Great actor. And
Great actor.
And ascendant of royalty.
Yeah, right.
He's
See?
royal.
So we do have kings, but I'm sure those weren't the type of kings that those bad wenches were talking about.
Uh-oh.
They want that white king. But anyway, on to other things.
Well, we done
Yeah,
covered a lot.
yeah.
We covered it. Jesse,
covered
Mega
it.
Mar. Oh. NFL, y'all Negroes come outside and set up and shut up, or
NFL.
yeah, NFL they just made a new ruling talking about African American. Well, players will be coming
Fined.
out if they don't stand, if they kneel,
Yep.
and it's basically on the heels of Donald Trump saying he even said maybe they don't even belong in America
Yep.
if they're not American supporters. So the NFL owners got together recently and said that from now on, all the NFL players that are out on the field have to stand. What many players, many coaches, or even teams
No, they
said
said
that.
the whole stadium. Matter
Well,
of fact, that's
you
what
can't
I saw.
mandate,
You guys will be
patriotism, but at the same time, the other teams said they just won't have their teams come out because that's the way it used to be. Teams didn't come out. I mean, it was just until the NFL decided to make an independent deal with the National Society of, military, whatever they're called, the Navy, the Army, the Air Force, and rent out that time to them. So it became part of the perfunctory terms of standing for that.
Why do we have the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance anyway?
But they don't do the Pledge of Allegiance at the
No,
game.
I'm just saying. But why do we have
It's all
that anyway?
indoctrination.
A Pledge of Allegiance. Do you guys remember the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yeah.
To the flag of the
United States of America.
and to the republic for which it stands. And
one
stop
nation,
right there.
under God,
Then, no, we don't have to say
indivisible,
anymore. We don't have to say
and
anymore.
liberty and justice for all.
Wow, and that was all made just to sell. It was a capitalist thing to sell.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
flags.
capitalism.
Yeah, all it was to sell flags.
Patriotism.
And it was to sell flags. Someone came up with an idea to sell the American flag. They said we're gonna put this pledge in to make sure that we sell these
Well, the
flags.
pledges aren't in
and the
school
rest is
anymore,
history.
so it's been removed from school.
I mean, it's removed because they saw it.
So
was
it's
some
more than a generation.
They found out that it was some BS just to sell some flags, and I will say the unknowledgeable, the uneducated at the time, fell for it, and they bought the flag, and they made sure their children in school knew the Pledge of Allegiance. So that's why we go there. So it's the same thing with "And the rockets red glare."
That's patriotism.
The bombs bursting
Shout out to
in
Fergie.
air.
Shout out to Fergie for that one.
Who gave through?
That was terrible.
Through the night.
Look at this guy.
That our
Yeah.
flag
What were we
was
talking about?
still there. Oh, say does
Okay, so
that
basically-
star-spangled banner, yeah, wave
Super Patriot, Crazy D over here.
for the land
You should go talk to the NFL, man.
free and the home as we keep them enslaved. Hey,
Play ball.
Hey, so what do you feel about that? Do you believe that the athletes are going to take a stand, or are they going to come out and just stand?
Some will. I believe that they'll be given their own choice to come out. But then again, some teams said that they were willing to support them And if they catch a fine, that like the Jets and the Cleveland Browns, I believe, said that they'll let them express themselves because that's the platform. The issue is not even about the flag. The issue is not about the song. This is about an individual who said the police treatment of African and African American people. They mixed it. Trump was able to flip the script on them. The NFL players, all white men, went for it. They are like, Negroes, you're going to do what I say. But other teams have it because they have it in Major League Baseball as part of their contract. They also have it as part of the NBA. And we remember the original Rauf Muhammad, who said he wasn't going to stand way back when, who played for the Denver Nuggets. Before all of this stuff, none of the other brothers supported him. So same thing here with even Colin Kaepernick. None of the other brothers are supporting him. It'll be interesting what happened. I think the NFL owners overstepped their boundaries by mandatoring patriotism. You cannot make patriotism mandatory.
I don't even think it's about patriotism. I really don't. I think it's about you're the privileged black class in this country.
Oh, you sound like Trump.
No, wait, let me finish. I don't sound like Trump. I sound like a black man talking about this issue. You are the privileged black class in this country. We pay your salary, and so you should not say anything or stand for anything that's against anything. You keep your mouth shut. You be a good boy. You be a good girl, and you do what we say, because part of signing that contract, you also kind of went under meritorious manumission.
No, because
and what is women now? What is meritorious manumission? 1,
freedom.
Save a white male or a white man. 2, make it so that the white man can profit. 3, snitch on black people who would cause an uprising.
Right.
So when that was also the Meritorious Manumission Act of 1710. That was how some black people could gain their freedom, right? So around the same time, so these different laws and these different codes came along. So this is why people live under, why you see certain people don't speak out, because they are under meritorious manumission. And no, he can laugh. Look it up, you read it, and you'll see what's going on. That's why certain black people who are in leadership, that's why Kaepernick, he was what you would call one of the elite black people. He was wait a minute now. This is the structure of this system. Now I can't help it. All you gotta do is Google it. It's right there. It's Google it. No. Or you can get Claude Anderson's African American Reader, where I got it from. This man who was the first one to draw up the first affirmative action plan from out of Florida that spread across the country. They turned right. So this is the man that expresses it in his book, and then when you go, but it's the law, and that's how people. When all you have to do, this is how I look at it. If something is true or not, I read it, then I observe, and then when I observe people, if they act like what this person writes in their book, then I say, well, this is truly fact. The hypothesis, the educated guess, is no longer educated guess. It is the science of what it is. And this is what we are seeing. Kaepernick, he took the knee, and they punished him for that because he came from off under meritorious manumission. And this is what this is all about. People who talk and fight and talk about black issues, they are punished, and they never get to the highest heights. Those that stay quiet, who take what is being done to them, they never complain about it. They rise up in this, and they pretty much protect the system. They make sure that they save the white people. They make sure white people are still profitable, no matter what they're doing against their own people in the society. And they will snitch about what's happening. And this is what it is. That's why when you ask me why I'm so shit, I say nothing about anything that I'm doing until the chicks are hatched and the train has left the station, going at high speed, rail speed. I never say anything because people are under meritorious manumission, and that's why people have to know what's going on. So when you know what's going on from the 1710 Act, nothing is ever wiped off the books with Europeans. If it wasn't amended, because they live by paper. If it wasn't amended, then it's still enacted today. It's still in action today, and you can know what certain black people are doing, and you say, okay, I see what they want. They want those awards. They want those nigger trinkets. They want those little things like that. So those people say, we'll rather get along and make sure that their system keeps going, and I can be the high-level preacher, entertainer, doctor, and you won't mess with me, no matter what they do to my people that are still suffering in the ghettos or in the middle class. As long as I'm up here in the upper class and I can hobnob with you and I can rub shoulders with you, no matter if you call me nigger, I'm never gonna talk about the group politic. I'm only gonna talk about individual politic. So that's what it is. So I mean, what do you have to say about that, Franklin?
He said it all, man. He said it all.
Meritorious manumission.
That's the way to look at it. That's the way to look at it. At the end of the day,
what do you think about meritorious manumission from what I've described? Can you see that happening when you look at it? I'm just asking.
Definitely, because they got their layers. Obviously, man. You got people think of the pyramid scheme. You got your boss at the top. He has 2 people. Those 2 people have 2 people. Those 2 people have 4. So it's into that. But at the end of the day, if we're talking about the NFL approving that any team kneeling would get fined, just stay in the locker room, it's petty, man. It's super petty. Because as Franklin said, and as you're trying to say too, it's on a bigger spectrum. It's about police brutality. It's not about disrespecting the military, the anthem, the country. It's about police brutality. And this country is not doing much about it. And what it turned into now is Trump is like, I got y'all niggas. Y'all niggas can't kneel anymore because I say so. You guys are trying to bash me, saying I'm stupid. Now I got you guys to stay in the locker rooms.
And it's been a damn good week for Trump this week.
Yeah.
He pardoned Jack Johnson. He got his son-in-law. Full clearance into the White House.
A year and a half?
A year and a half. He's still in. They're never gonna get him. He's gonna run at least for the second term.
And he's also on the verge of getting away with it's not illegal. Obviously the Stormy Daniels things, paying her not to talk, but it's connected. It's connected to like a Russian account type thing, man. He's just still smooth sailing, man. After all these allegations are on him, he's smooth sailing, man.
And like Kanye West said,
oh boy,
he seems to have that. He seems to have that dragon fire.
He got Kanye's approval. He's set. He's set. Next 8 years. He got Kanye's approval, man. Next 8 years.
He's got that dragon fire.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about one part? Not about the 400 years. Let's drop that away. Let's talk about
Kanye.
No. This is very important because not only is Seymour our sound man, but he's a damn great artist. If you haven't seen video and all the other videos, go right onto YouTube and watch those pieces. Watch Dope Hangouts right there on Lower Land. Connect to it.
Coming out.
But yeah, we saw pieces of it on Instagram.
Strength is my weakness, featuring Janice Laura. It's awesome.
Yeah. Listen, he's an artist.
To the music.
He's a listen to it. He's a damn great artist. Now listen. And damn and great being the same. Is that a oxymoron? But anyway, he's a great artist. Listen. Okay. He said that Trump was celebrated in hip hop music.
He was
from the late 80s all the way up until he came down the escalator on June 25th of 2015.
Who cares, right?
2015. He came down the escalator and then he said something about Mexicans, and then everything else just went haywire. What do you think about what he said about that? That people celebrated him in hip hop, and now they've turned against him, and you really can't take back your celebratory nature towards a person because it's on recording forever.
No, the language you're using is celebratory. It wasn't celebratory. It was exemplification of success, the image of success, the image of capitalism. Celebrating his life would be like, like with the documentaries you like to quote or things of that nature. Mm-hmm. I believe that the image of Trump, even prior to the game, and he had Trump game, he had Trump college, Trump wild. The image of success that he portrayed was an illusion for Negroes and music moguls and music people to emulate. They were happy. Mike Tyson, hung out and had with him because don't get me wrong, it was the image of success.
I was watching a Snoop Dogg video interview, and he said that Trump paid him. Trump paid him to come by, show his face to give that illusion. Like, I'm popping, hanging out with the rappers, so you should mess with me too.
He hung out in the clubs,
parties,
all of that, right? All
Playboy
that.
Mansion.
It's part of the segment, but to say we celebrated him, no, we celebrated the image that he portrayed, much like
presidential.
No. I said presidential,
like Donald Trump,
right? Rich guy,
like Donald Trump.
No,
presidential. What was the group?
They
was kind of like UGK. No, they were kind of like UGK, and they had.
Where are they now?
Wait a minute. They broke up because TBT Records was keeping Lil Jon's name. Another example of oppression. They wouldn't let Lil Jon have his name in his
capitalism. They signed a contract.
But anyway, that's not his point. He should have been more astute. I'll say
that's called getting a lawyer.
Because he was already educated, but he should have been more astute.
It's called getting a
about
lawyer.
Signing away his image
and his
name in perpetuity.
But
in perpetuity.
There you go. So be careful what you sign.
You have to be careful what you sign.
But look at this. You know what?
But anyway, Seema, I didn't even really get your point on it. I asked you as an artist, can people take back, though he says it wasn't celebratory, they did celebrate him. They say presidential, like Donald Trump. That's celebration of this man's success. And they said, we want to be like Trump. Can the hip hop community actually take back what they were doing? Can they actually take back what they were saying, the positive things, because it's ever so solidified on 2 quarter-inch tape, right? 2-inch quarter-inch tape.
Back?
I'm saying, and it's recorded on disc. It's recorded on cassette.
All right, I got you. Let's get.
No, I just have to put it across to the people because this is urgent times we're living in.
Urgent. Chucky.
Can they take it back? Watch how I slip through this one, because it's like you. It's like when you were in high school. You had a best friend. You had a best homie. You chill with them every day, and then you guys just stop talking. Or he does you wrong. He does you wrong. You guys just stop talking. It's not. No one's gonna come to you and be like, aha, I remember when you used to hang out with so and so. You guys were best friends. Nah, you can't say you hate him because he did your girl. No, it's not like that. He has shown to the world that now he's like a bigot, a racist, just everything, everything that people have seen about him. All they could do is just not support him. If taking it back, there's no such. I don't know. There's no such thing as taking it back, but they can't get ridiculed. Like, oh, he used to hang out with Donald Trump. A rapper said, Snoop Dogg said, he paid me to come there. I wasn't his homie. He paid me to come there to the Playboy Mansion for sure. I'm there, and that's it. That's all the relationship was.
So he got paid.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say that Snoop in a certain context would be like the women that were at the Playboy Mansion? They were paid to appear.
If you were buddy with, Kanye can never take it back. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years from now, Kanye can never take it back. That's a rapper who can't take it back, Kanye, because he wholeheartedly supported him. He said, that's my friend. I look up to him. We got the dragon's breath. Kanye can never take it back. That's mine.
They have to take it back.
Kanye can never take it back.
It is what it is. And thanks that we have the video to know where you stand at certain times. It's where you are now. I'm over here now. I may have thought that way when I was younger, when I didn't know as much. I didn't think as much. I didn't know better.
You thought what?
Whatever. I knew that this individual was somebody worthy of hanging out with. That's what you're talking about. That's what you're talking about. So they hung out with him, and based on the image of success that he had. I see you looking at the poster. But we got to get out of here. You know, we've been doing this for a minute. This podcast.
Yeah, but you know, we can keep on going because we haven't been here. We can chop it up. You know
7 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Oh, fourth quarter in the Cleveland right now is doing it. But anyway, listen, we didn't even talk about the Malcolm X.
Yeah, we did. We talked about it now.
We touched it a little.
Because it's Friday night, it's Labor Day.
Here's a question for you.
I'm hungry.
How would Malcolm X think? What would he think about the condition that we're in today, Franklin?
Same condition. Nothing has changed.
So what would he say?
Nothing. Nothing has changed. That's what he said.
Aren't you Negroes? When will you get up off
that
your
language
ass?
wouldn't work. That language wouldn't work. But the same thing.
No. I didn't say the language. I say he would think to himself. When are the Negroes gonna get up off their ass? What would Martin Luther King say? When are the Negroes gonna get up off their ass? And which brings me back to Trump for a minute. Which I want to ask this question.
Close with Trump.
And we ask, no, we're not gonna close with Trump because we're gonna close with something that's Trump adjacent.
All right.
Okay. What? I'm gonna ask Simo first because we had this conversation. I want to see what Simo says here. Because what has Trump actually said about black people? What has he actually said negatively since he's been in the president? He came down the escalator and he talked about Mexicans. What has he actually said about black people in this country? Let's be specific. What has he said?
He called specifically us sons of bitches because.
Oh no, he called the athlete overclass.
Kaepernick started it.
He called the athlete overclass
Right,
who get paid.
They earned that.
I'm not. They earn being overclass.
They earned that.
LeBron getting bald, man.
Listen,
Sorry.
Listen, you didn't know that? But listen, he said that to the athlete black overclass who are supposed to be quiet. So let's go to that. I'm saying he didn't say that to me because I don't make millions of dollars.
That doesn't make
They say that to you?
No, are you saying does it affect me because he disrespected African American people?
Does it affect you that he disrespected African American athletes? We have to extrapolate and expand this out a little bit. Does it affect you?
No, niggas ain't paying my bills.
It doesn't affect. Damn right. Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
Helping me out,
niggas
I
are
can donate to your cause, but what they gonna do for me?
Listen, niggas are not helping because they are under what we talked about earlier.
No.
That's one way. So what else did Trump? And see, that's what I'm saying. We're getting to the truth of this now. We're breaking this open, and we're getting to the truth of this.
Donate, man.
We are getting to the truth of this now.
I get my ass beat by a cop.
What else did he actually say about black people in this country? What else did he actually say? I just want to be clear on why we're so angry with this guy.
Yeah, well, he said what else he said? He said we should go back to where he came from. He says
when did he say that?
He said somebody should go back to Ghana
every day,
something like that.
Okay, he's talking about the immigrants that were not born here in this country. We're talking about the people who came over, who we don't have real great relations with Africans from Africa, from the different countries anyway. So now,
and that's a misconception.
So wait, I'm just saying.
Nothing but the facts. We're gonna send you this.
Yeah, because Africans get along with Africans on the continent here and there. Forget about Pan-African things. That's right, but nobody. All people get along. Can't paint with that such a broad brush.
Wait, hold it.
All right.
Okay. So he talked about keeping immigrants out. He said Arabs and all that, and he included
to go back.
Haitians,
he removed their visas. He took it away from them.
Are you Haitian?
No.
Yes.
Trinidadian.
Are you Haitian?
Yes. If my brother suffers, I suffer.
Wait,
all the same, Pan-African family.
No, wait. Because the majority, are you Dominican?
So yes.
No, because the majority of Dominicans don't like Haitians.
Not the conscious
They think they're
ones.
lower class.
Not the conscious ones.
How much consciousness do we have?
None.
Because in 1750. We
man.
were 50% of the population.
More than that, but at the same time, we ain't there no more.
It was 50-50 between black people here and white people. We could have forced
Oh, you sound like Conway now. It sound like a choice? I'm trying to tell me?
I'm just asking. I'm just putting it together. So what else has Trump, because we have to get down to and boil this down. What has Trump actually said about black people? I'm not in the pay class. I'm not in the pay class of athletes. I'm not an immigrant. I was born here. I was born here.
I'll tell you what he said.
What else? What has? No, wait. I'm trying to get to this because we got to get to the millennial. We need to know what millennial. He is a millennial. So what else has Trump actually said?
Man, he said a lot of things, man.
About Africans,
about African Americans.
Yes.
Okay.
What has he said?
African Americans. Shit, man. He said a lot of shit.
What has he said?
I honestly couldn't call an exact quote.
You take
but I see a lot.
You take the elite class out. You take out the immigrants.
Why take them out?
No, wait.
Black is
Look
black.
at my African American.
Because they're not doing any program. They got enough money to help solve these problems. So what else has he said about us as a people? You know what? You know what? To me, my opinion is that Trump is nonchalant about black people.
Oh boy.
That's what I think. He say
he's
either or.
He's a Trump.
He said, listen. He said no. He says when you choose to come with a platform to make me move to do something for you,
so that's
then
black
I'll do it. Other than that, I'm going to do my quid pro quo for the people who put me in office.
That's wrong.
That's right. No. That's how he believes.
That's so wrong.
Look at this. Okay. Was Obama?
Oh, here we go.
Was Obama shrug his shoulders about black folks?
Yeah.
What did Obama do for black? Who did Obama do things for?
Yeah, all the black people left the black people in the black house.
No. What did Obama do for other people? He talked about the gay rights.
Oh, yeah.
He talked about the Mexican
rights.
He did healthcare. That helps everyone.
Those are things he could win and get through the Congress. He couldn't get anything black through Congress at that time. You know that. He didn't try because he wasn't supported.
We give excuses for someone who never tried. After the beer summit, after the beer summit,
hey, we got that beer summit. One particular incident.
We
damn, you peaked right there.
Yeah, he did.
You peaked,
man.
Yeah, after the beer
Did you bring that in? No.
We should continue this. Let's go get some salsa and get to work.
Podcast. So here we have to close out with the right things. Did you see? Because we were talking about a few things.
This is what we've been talking about.
Same stuff still happening.
You see this?
Nothing has changed. That's a real sign. And that came from Mobile, Alabama, in the city pool. I got that at an auction in that city. In any event, as you know, this is how we do it. Nothing but the facts. My man Crazy, and we know why we call him Crazy. Crazy
That's
D.
right, because
his outside thought is like a 3-point shot coming out of LeBron's hand with 3 people on him.
From the fourth
It's gonna hit. It's gonna hit. And as you know, we got my man right here, Simo.
Yes.
Dope.
Hangouts.
I like the dope part.
Mm-hmm.
Dope hangouts. That's how we do it.
Time.
And as you know, we just cover things. If you want to try to sit down with us, we want to sit down with you. Yeah. The bottom line is we have 3 different views here. We just talk about black things. We covered a few things.
The only being that gets free time on the seat is Jefferson right here.
Jefferson.
Everybody else, this seat costs.
And this is how he needs
sit
love.
down and talk.
You know it.
And make sure
lifestyle segment coming soon. Lifestyle segment coming soon.
And make sure that you bring your A game when you get into this and we talk about the debates, okay? When we get into debating, make sure you bring your A game to the table, all right?
And this is how we
look forward to it.
This is how we do it. Nothing but the facts. Your man Crazy D, Franklin G, Simo putting it down, and Jefferson. There are things we're going to talk about. We're sorry we've been out for a minute. We have Malcolm A. Such a great big event. Go check it out on Lord Land Films. Started with Indian Shaman Prayers. We had all kind of poets. We had all kind of... And the star of the show, my man Trevor, this young man danced his little... Man, that was pure energy.
And then Trevor walked around there, yes.
Yes, he put it down.
After he walked, he said, yes, I did that shit.
Jefferson wants to, he wants his own little close-up. But anyway, this is how we do it. You can get down with us because we're here for you. We're growing in so many ways. Jefferson, chill out. You want to say hi? All right, Jefferson doesn't speak. He's silent partner. But this is what we try to do, connect you just through dialogue. 3 black men, not so much young or old, but we're doing it right here in Las Vegas. Check out Lord Land Films. Get with us because we can get with you. We got to have some more topics. We got a lifestyle piece which is going to come up involving a young lady who's going to talk about living a certain lifestyle, being
Yeah.
being a black woman or a woman of color. Very attractive, very meaningful, very educated, and will expose us to some of the insights. We got to get some more women up in here, Team Simo. We got to get some more women up in here, Crazy D. I know they add a different complexity to the situation, but we need to hear because revolution time. We need everybody. Cooks, bottle washers,
just like Ethiopia. The women are the ones that push back Mussolini's army with rocks.
He went Wakanda on us.
He went with rocks and spears.
I told you. Black Panther will be a white man sure enough. And I'm not down with Wakanda all the way.
The only reason why King Selassie, Honorable King Selassie, surrendered because he knew that they would come back and try to wipe them out. So he surrendered so that his people would not perish. And that's the only reason. But other than that, they pushed
talking about fighting Mussolini
back.
Yeah. Because it's simply you can't fight an airplane with spears.
That's right. That's right. They were coming back for it. The ground game didn't work. They were coming back with the bombs.
Ooh. Rumble was something else. In any event, this is how we do it. Nothing but the facts. Check us out.
One thing I gotta say before Franklin said, don't you love the knowledge that we put across on this podcast? If it's one podcast that you see here, that we sit here and we put the information out to you, and it's up to you to then go Google, because like Lady AK says, Google is your friend. So anyway, finish. We just want to make sure
that we spin it all out. We spin it all back. Again, check us out. This is how we were doing it. Everything comes through dialogue. The fact that you can get some brothers talking about some things without having to involve Empire, that kind of dialogue, or even a Housewives of Atlanta. We're just trying to kick it with y'all. Connect some things through serious pro-black dialogue. No matter where you get it from, the direction is always should be black. Nothing but the facts, y'all.
You gonna sneak that in there again, talking about Empire? When will we gonna stop talking about our shows? We're still going live. When we gonna stop talking about our shows, huh? Jeez,
I miss Empire, man. I haven't seen it.
And then you talking about it though, but you watch it, and you watch the Housewives too.
No, I'm a wife.
It's a guilty pleasure. It's a guilty pleasure. All this positivity, and it's a guilty pleasure.
That's the thing. We need to do a show on manumission, because what it is was for freedom, and that leads to Nat Turner.
This is Like It Is Radio, Black Intelligent Talk Radio.